What do you get when you cross Carnival of Rio de Janeiro and Catholic Mass? Only every single religious festival of the Elizabethan period. Yeah, that joke sucked. I apologize. Just kind of worked as an intro though. I'm Jessica, and this is Festivals, the real parties of 1599. Today, I answer one of the questions that's been burning in your heart ever since you heard about us. Why were festivals so important to Elizabethan society? Okay, so maybe they're not burning, but I have to answer it, and you have to listen to it. Deal with it.
So first off, I'm gonna have to give you all a little bit of background on this here subject. Needed an explanation for the reason why people died, the reason why people got sick, the reason crap stuff happened, you know. They didn't know viruses existed yet. They didn't know medicine. So they basically explained it like this.
Witches! Demons!
Yeah. They were more comfortable explaining it with evil and magic, and it worked for them, but it didn't really leave much to the imagination. To put it simply, these were times of anxiety. People needed a way to de-stress and to explain. Festivals did this for them. Basically, these people are pretty easy to please. De-stressing for them was a drunken good time had by all. Little bit of sport, little bit of singing. Just your normal bar, really. And that's what festivals were in effect, you know. There was a lot of hanky-panky, especially on May Day. There was lots of food. Lots of food. Actually, while we're talking about food, an interesting thing to note is that these guys didn't actually eat very much. So when festivals came around, it was a really, really exciting chance for them to gorge on the carefully hoarded food that they've stored away for months and months and months, you know? And so it was kind of like a nice treat, you know? It gave them something to look forward to, something to be excited about. Especially, I mean, these guys work 6 days a week and they have pretty much just Sunday off, and that can't be great. I mean, anyone in the working world knows it's not excellent, but these guys are hard labourers, you know, talking about the peasants, of course, and it just, they needed a little time, they needed a little rumpy-pumpy. Bearing that in mind, it is really cool to think about the fact that, you know, judging by all the sin that went on during these festivals, how closely linked to the church these festivals really were. Like, you know, Christmas and Easter and May Day, there was always a church service, you know? That's why I kind of find it quite funny that these two were quite closely interlinked, and I guess this could be, you know, well, it is one of the reasons that led to the Puritans actually banning quite a few festivals, including Christmas, during Oliver Cromwell's reign. Cool, right? Now, the church was quite clever. It found that by not only did these festivals teach different Bible stories, you know, Christmas, Easter, birth of Jesus, death of Jesus, and all that kind of stuff, but it also provided a release for the peasants. It meant that the peasants didn't have any sort of built-up rage or anger against the government because there were so many festivals, they just got drunk all the time. And so they were pretty lax about it, really, which is quite clever on their part. Roman Catholic ritual provided drama and visual interest, and was linked to the seasonal progression from summer to winter. Hold up, wait a minute, what's this quote got to do with it? Okay, so, yeah, we are focusing after the Reformation period, but you have to admit that a lot of Roman Catholic things did kind of carry on through, even after the Elizabethan settlement, as festivals. They were super important. It was super important to keep the people in church, because the church would control society, pretty much. And festivals was kind of what kept people in church. You were expected to go to church so you could know when the next one was coming up. I mean, if you're illiterate, you can't read a calendar. Festivals also offered an opportunity for people to get out of their comfort zone, do something a little bit crazy. Like, one, mock hierarchy. What I've found in my research is that in quite a few festivals there was someone chosen who would be like the anti-authority, like the May Queen on May Day. She would be the queen, but she would give stupid orders. Or the Lord of Misrule at Christmas and summer solstice. You know, this guy would pretty much just cause mayhem. He was cray. He was cray. And like King Crispin as well. I guess it kind of gave the lucky person who won this title a chance to be respected and some sort of authority for the day. But it kind of provided a release, you know, a chance for them to mock the hierarchy, mock the government, because where would we be if we couldn't make jokes about the Prime Minister of New Zealand, that is. When you think about it, these festivals did kind of actually serve a practical purpose, like teaching Bible stories, as I mentioned, and providing, you know, a little bit of fun in a hard work day. It was good. It was what the people needed. The government was smart to keep them going. Oliver Cromwell. Festivals also helped keep people kind of in track with where the year was going. It celebrated the seasonal cycle, the progression from summer to winter. And it was kind of like a constant reminder for the peasants. It was like, okay, this festival is coming, summer must be coming, you know, like Easter, the beginning of Lent, you know, winter is almost over, if we can just hold on for a little bit longer, you know, summer is coming. And it kind of made it a little bit better. It made people a lot happier. They liked to have something they can fall back on. Yeah. And that kind of just goes back to the fact that these were times of anxiety, and they did need a bit of reassurance. And they did, not only did they find this in the supernatural and their explanations and in God, but they also found this in a constant calendar, a constant festival. That's why there were so many. And on that note, my people, I shall bid you adieu. Until next time, where we learn about Christmas. I'm not good with effects.